accent. You're pretty sure hear an accent. That's because I'm German, and well, because I had no idea what the kind of video I would do, and I'm very bad at rambling. I was just looking around my room and found an old book that I had when I was really little, and a book to learn English for childs, and it's called Theo Wants to Be a Knight by Marcus Sauermann. And I'm sorry that I can't do a video. Well, I could, but the quality would be worse, and well, I'm just recording this with my phone, and I got an application which is a voice recorder, and it records pretty good quality. Well, when I test it, at least, I hope the quality is good on the video. And well, yes, this is the story of Theo, and well, there will be German videos on my channel, just for you to know, and if you want some, then just tell me in the comment section. And well, okay, let's go. Theo has been going to school since last summer. Arithmetic is what he likes best. He's quite good at painting too. It's just reading that Theo sometimes finds a bit difficult. His father says, "You have to be able to read, because otherwise you won't get a job." Actually, Theo doesn't want to get a job. He'd rather be a knight. Nevertheless, he makes a big effort to learn to read. In fact, sometimes Theo is really pleased that he can read, but sometimes he's not. Today, though, it's very lucky for him that he can read. On the way to the playground, he makes a discovery. On the ground in front of him lies some sort of cloth. It feels very soft. At the top it has a cord that you can tie. It's a cloak. Who could have lost it? Theo has a good think. Maybe a wizard. Wizards wear cloaks. With cloaks, they can make things disappear. Theo has to try it out straight away. At this moment, Mrs. Jacobs comes around the corner. She lives in the neighborhood. Mrs. Jacobs doesn't like children. "Stop," cries Theo. The shock makes Mrs. Jacobs drop her handbag. "I'm the great wizard Tortellini," says Theo. Mrs. Jacobs is flabbergasted, and at first she doesn't say a word. "Now I'm going to change your handbag into a warthog." I'm sorry if I pronounce that words wrong. I don't know all of the words, to be honest. Well, okay. Theo throws the cloak over her handbag. "Abracadabra, turn the bag into a horrible hog," says Theo. He looks under the cloak. "Oh dear," he says. "What?" asks Mrs. Jacobs, startled. "The bag is still a bag. The cloak isn't magic at all," says Theo, disappointed. Angrily, Mrs. Jacobs snatches a bag and leaves. It's too bad that the trick didn't work. Theo would really have liked to see Miss Jacobs walking along the street with a warthog. On the cloak, Theo notices a small leather label. There's something on it. Theo reads, "Henry King." Great, thinks Theo. This cloak belongs to a king. Maybe he lost it somewhere. Now he's waiting for a loyal subject to bring his precious cloak back to him, thinks Theo. And then he'll give him the princess's hand in marriage. Theo hesitates. He doesn't actually want to get married yet. Maybe he can persuade the king to make him a knight. Theo Theo's heart starts thumping at the thought. His mind is made up. He must find King Henry. Theo thinks about it. How do you find the king? It's best to look him up in the phone book. Theo goes 2 streets further down to a telephone booth. Mrs. Jacobs is in it, talking to someone on the phone. Anyone who wants to be a knight, thinks Theo, has to kill dragons. He bravely opens the door. Sorry, he apologizes to the dragon. I'm here on the king's business. He quickly grabs the phone book and looks under K for king. Just you wait, says Mrs. Jacobs. I'm going to call your mother now. King Albert, King Bernard, King Denis, and Doris, reads Theo. So which is the real king? Then suddenly in big letters Theo sees King Henry, High Company, 31 Castle Street. It must be him, the real king, and of course he lives in Castle Street. But why does it say Higher Company? Maybe it's another way of spelling higher. And who could be higher company than the king? At this moment, Mrs. Jacobs grabs him by the neck. I've got your mother on the phone, she says, and she'd like to have a word with you. Mrs. Jacobs holds the receiver towards him. Hello, Mom, says Theo. Don't worry. I'm on my way to the king. See you later. Before his mother or Mrs. Jacobs can say another word, Theo has already gone. In his search for Castle Street, he finds a taxi at the side of the road. Theo asks the driver how to get to the king. The king? Asks the taxi driver in amazement. Yes, Castle Street, says Theo. I want to be a knight. The driver tells him the way to Castle Street. Luckily, Theo is able to read the names of the streets. At the sign that says Castle Street, he turns the corner. At last he comes to number 31. But there's definitely no castle. There's just a shop. The gold lettering over the entrance, however, shows Theo that he's come to the right place. Henry King. Maybe he's a poor king, thinks Theo, who can't afford a castle. Theo's quite excited. He's never seen a real king before. Slowly he opens the door. Inside there are a lot of clothes hanging up. Theo walks carefully between all the clothes stands. Suddenly he finds himself in front of a guardsman. Theo is startled and hides behind one of the clothes stands. Hello, is someone there? Asks a voice. Anyone who wants to be a knight has to be brave, thinks Theo, and comes out of the hiding. The guardsman is still standing there motionless. Theo realizes that it's just a dummy. An elderly man appears behind him. What can I do for you? He asks. I want to see King Henry, says Theo, because I found his cloak. Theo shows him the cloak. But I don't want to have the princess for my reward. I'd rather be made a knight, says Theo, by the king himself in person. At first the man looks a bit stupid, but then he gives a friendly smile and disappears behind the curtain. Theo has a look around. There are lots more dummies standing against the walls. He sees a fairy, a cook, and even a suit of armor. The king must be so poor that he can't afford real guards, knights, or cooks, thinks Theo. The curtain opens. Out steps the poor king in person. I've been told you found my cloak, he says. Yes, your majesty, replies Theo. He knows from his fairy tale books that this is how you address a king. Theo gives him the cloak. The king is very pleased. Then Theo has to tell the king how he found the way here. He tells him about the signs and the names that he was able to read, and of course about the dragon named Jacobs. The king is deeply impressed. Solemnly he picks up a plastic sword. With it he touches Theo's shoulders and head and says, "With this I dub you knight." Theo is tremendously proud, and as a goodbye present, the king also gives him the plastic sword. With great nightly strides, Theo goes home. His mother is waiting for him. She's angry because the dragon phoned her. Theo tells his mother about the cloak, about King Henry, and about how he's been made a knight. His mother is proud of him, but a real knight would go and apologize to Miss Jacobs, she said. Theo will go and do tomorrow, but he'll take his sword with him. Better safe than sorry. Well, this is it.